Hello, this is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Commercial Integrator here at the Apantac booth at InfoComm 2025 with my friend Thomas Tang. Obviously, when you come to a show like InfoComm, you're looking for true innovation, and I know Apantac to be a true innovator among innovators in the industry. So thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Well, thanks, Sam.
So last year, I know you kind of shook things up in the broadcast world with your open gear integration. And now you have this dual product, this award-winning, Commercial Integrator BEST Award-winning dual product. Why don't you tell me about it?
So one of the things that we did is we wanted to concentrate on digital signage. And especially this year, we wanted to concentrate on banking as well as retail. So by doing that, we started working with these dual-sided displays. Now, in order to have a dual-sided displays, you sometimes you have two different signals, that you have to have two different outputs. So, of course, then we use the HDBaseT technology to do that.
So this really is kind of a revolution, I would say, in digital signage. This is kind of shaking things up, and it's an approach that others really aren't taking. As I say, you're kind of innovators. Why don't you talk about how this revolutionizes digital signage?
Well, one of the things is very important now is cybersecurity, right? So for cybersecurity, you shouldn't have computing devices in a public area, such as in a display. So we now have these edge devices, such as the HDBaseT receivers, that we use the SDM technology. We plug that directly into the display, and now we could keep all the content secure in the machine room.
And you already mentioned some of the use cases, like banks, financial institutions. Are there other use cases that you would point to where this might actually be the perfect choice?
Retail. It's very important to do retail because these dual-sided displays, you have one side that's brighter than the other, so you could point the brighter side out to the public, and the not as bright side inside the stores.
Yeah. Maybe we can take a closer look.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah.
So let's do a bit of a demo. I'm interested in how that tool, that award-winning tool, is being used to make this happen.
So this display here has a SDM slot. So on that SDM slot, so SDM itself actually has two outputs built in. There's an HDMI output and a DisplayPort output. So we do that here, then we build a HDBaseT product has two inputs. So output A, output B, corresponding with input A, input B. So by sliding that in there, now we could now service both sides of the display.
And as you said, the exterior facing one brighter, the interior facing one less bright, really to optimize it for where it's positioned and where it's situated.
That's correct. Yeah. And these displays are now great, a little bit of AI in the display and the content, the eye could track with the, with the customers walking by.
Yeah.
It is really cool.
It really is. And I would imagine, especially as you mentioned, retail applications, something like this, you can really almost measure the ROI because you're really engaging the potential customer, engaging the passersby with that AI-infused technology. We're moved a whole lot beyond those static paper signs, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Want to move around and see the other side as well?
Yeah.
So as you say, there's a difference. There's a dynamism in the brightness from one to the other, depending on what would be outward facing.
Exactly. So when we designed this is to drive the customers from the outside in, and the customer, when it comes in, they can look at either the same content or different content.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for banks, for retail, it's all about drawing the customers in, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's almost like an attractive force, a magnetic force. If you can use this to bring people in, you're going to maximize the chances that they're going to interact positively with your business.
Exactly.
As we've talked about, clearly two different levels of brightness. How is that being done? How is it being controlled?
Well, there's a couple different ways to do this. One, you could adjust the display by itself. The second thing is through HDBaseT, you could actually send the control signals from RS-232 or Ethernet into the display to make those kind of adjustments.
Right. So HDBaseT then is central to facilitating exactly this kind of outcome. Again, to draw people into whether it's a bank, a retail establishment, by the different luminance levels, but the attractive imagery as well.
That's right. I just thought of another thing. It would be great for restaurants too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything is trying to pull people into the door by attracting them with some kind of display signage.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the run through and the demo. Congratulations on your Commercial Integrator BEST Award. And I can't wait to see what you bring to InfoComm 2026, the continuous innovators at Apantac.
We have a full roadmap. We look forward to showing it to everybody. Excited for it. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Commercial Integrator here at the Apantac booth, doing an HDBaseT Thought Leader interview series at InfoComm 2025.